The following presentation is for mature audiences only.
Who are you?
He's a fine man.
All hell is broken loose.
He's a great broadcaster.
He's a very powerful guy. Absolutely brilliant.
Feared by men, adored by women.
He's a smart boy.
It's patriotic.
It's no big deal.
It's the end of the world.
I might as well tell you now. He's a monkey.
And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome in to another edition of The Wild Side with Eric Clark. I am your host, Eric Clark, saying thank you for taking time out of your busy day to give my video a watch and a listen. If you like it, like it. If you think other people are going to dig it, give it a share. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel and following me on all the social media platforms. That way, if there's a band, a song, a video, a subject, a question you have for me, hit me up with a DM or leave it in the comments below. If you are going to leave it in the comments below, do me a favor, join the I Concur Army. Only you can concur simply by giving it a cursory read-through. If you see your suggestion has already been made, just give it a like and an I Concur. That helps my old resin-coated burnout DJ brain put everything into a nice little list and get it into the handy-dandy notebook. Thank you to everybody for your suggestions. Thank you to everybody for helping me out with band history, name pronunciations, geography, and all of that. Before we get to today's video, thank you to Aspen Dental, Connect 200, Music 2C, and Gothic Jewelry. They are those that make the Wild Side possible, so thank you to them. Today we are back on the Nightwish train, and we are going back to 2007. 15 years ago today, Dark Passion Play was released. It was the first album to feature Annette and as lead singer, and I believe it was the first time they featured Troy. He wasn't a member of like an official member of the band, but he is featured for the first time on this album. I have done a reaction to Bye Bye Beautiful, the official video of that. You can get it down in my video in my list of videos. It's down there. I thought it was a great mainstream track. I thought it had a great vibe. I thought her vocals were great as well. So today we're going to be checking out a track that I've been told I need to really, really see and get the lyrics. I've read some of the lyrics. I've also been reading a lot of the history of the band over my time exploring Nightwish. But something I have to tell you, I will always recognize the impetus and inspiration of music, but I am not here for the drama. I'm not here for the politics. I'm here for the music. So whatever led them to this point is irrelevant to me because it didn't happen to me. And I'm that selfish. So I'm just here for their final product. What went into it is kind of none of my business. And let's just get to the tune. So today we're checking out Master Passion Greed, which according to what everyone is telling me is really, while Bye Bye Beautiful was about Tarja, this song, Master Passion Greed, is about her husband Marcelo and the impact and effect that he had on the band. So I checked out a video someone had linked to me that was kind of a listener or a fan put together video, but I couldn't really focus on the music because of the cuts that were happening in the video. And I really wanted to be able to focus on the music. So we're going to be checking out Master Passion Greed, Nightwish. 15 years ago today, this triple platinum, I think they called it one of the top 60 greatest symphonic rock albums of all time, was released. So we're going to be checking it out. Here we go. wow, the last minute and a half of that song belong in a museum. That whole song does. I've got a lot of mixed emotions right now. That is Master Passion Greed by Nightwish from the album Dark Passion Play, released today, 15 years ago, on this date 15 years ago. It wasn't released today 15 years ago. That would break the time-space continuum, I believe. But let me just settle my brain real quick and start by saying, understanding, it's a lot to unpack. It really is, because like I said, I'm stuck with these conflicting emotions right now. Understanding what went into the motivation behind the entire album, knowing, having read both letters, having read dissertations on Reddit, I've done maybe a little too much research into this. So into the band, maybe a little too much. It's kind of put me in a spot. But let me say this, understanding the motivation behind a lot of the lyrics, and I'll get to that here in a second, I understand why the song is not a regular part of their live show. If I'm not mistaken, this has never been played live, maybe once, but it's just not a song that Tuomas wants to get out there. I think once he got it out of his system and got it recorded, he was done with it. It was his way of getting that off of his chest. Maybe in the future it'll be a part, but it also saddens me that this song is not a part of their live repertoire, because this song is massive. This is a massive track. It has every single element you could possibly be looking for in a monster track from an album. The beginning, it really got me at the beginning. I for those of you wondering, by the way, I'm not drawing cubes. I'm actually taking notes, and I draw lines and stuff to try to separate my thoughts. Doesn't work that often, but I try to be as note-taking as possible. So the intro really smacked of that mainstream industrial vibe of Nine Inch Nails and Disturbed. It really did. In my head, I was thinking, wow, that sounds like, stuff from Down with the Sickness. It sounds like the stuff from Pretty Hate Machine. It's really smacking of industrial metal, good industrial metal. But what makes this song so massive is how subtly the world is built around that massive driving onslaught of Yuka. That is an incredible... I'm sure there are other reasons why it's not done live, but that is a massive track. His drums, he doesn't need... This is what is awesome about this song. A lot of times, in especially metal, there's a combination of foundational tone, or there's an overall foundation of drive and momentum and image in the song. Usually, that is created by the bass player, the drummer, and if you have one, the keyboard player. Those three kind of set the tone. They set the stage, if you will. They create that foundation, and usually the drum drives the song. It's the heartbeat of the music, right? It's the very pull, for me anyway. It's the pull to the music. What's the beat? What is it speaking to in me? And if the drummer is putting down this really good, thick, rich foundation, then the keys and the bass can kind of fill in the blanks along the way, and it creates this foundation of sound so that the lead singer, the guitarist, the rhythm guitar, the whoever can kind of do their thing. But what's amazing about this song is that the only real driving force, and it's done very well, is the drum. Yuka does not need anyone else getting involved in the making of that foundation. So then what that does is it frees up the rest of that normal foundation to create these intricate subtleties throughout the entirety of the song. So while the song is changing probably 6 or 7 times, and I'll get to Empu here in a minute, but it shifts really heavy from an industrial sound to a prog sound to a heavy metal sound to a dark metal sound. And it's all happening on different layers throughout the song. It's a brilliant, again, this Tuomas is, it's the perfect measure, man. It's that layer cake of metal that I always talk about, him being so good at building. And when you're talking about an issue that is so personal, and you can tell just by the music, this is a very aggressive song. So the fact that he's able to weave the beauty and the bright in with the dark and the anger, again, is a credit to his genius, that he's able to create a song that speaks to this very sloping forehead caveman, Zog hate fire aggression that we all possess. But he's also able to create with Empu these wonderful, bright, subtle background tones. And Empu is just so amazing. I've talked before about how he is able to create the perfect tone for the perfect moment. And what he does in this track here is he creates the perfect tone for the perfect measure. Measure meaning 32, 64, whatever time frame is needed in that song, because again, the song is shifting. The song is shifting in tone and attitude throughout the song. And Empu is creating the perfect guitar tone for each of those shifts. And if his guitar tone needs to be subtle and in the background, that's where you heard that long extension but real light kind of background airy vibe he had going on. And then immediately slamming into that perfect 80s metal solo. Just absolutely brilliant how he's able to do that, go from that subtle, light rhythm guitar roll, if you will, and then immediately on the next downbeat, he is into his up front and center guitar solo. And I'm not going to compare him to other guitar players, because the more I watch, the more I listen, the more I understand this guy is influencing other people. He is there with some of the names I've mentioned before. So Empu has grown on me as far as what a perfect creator of tone he is. So now let's get to Marco's vocals. I will, again, it's a hill I will die on. This guy's pure metal. He exudes metal. When we talk about metal vocals, a lot of time people go with, Rob Halford and Bruce Dickinson, and I'm even going to go with Jeff Tate of Queensryche. And there's Marco, and he's up there with Hansi of Blind Guardian. And what I mean by that is they're perfect metal vocals, and they have the right band around them to create the perfect background to those vocals. And Marco's vocals, that note he hits, again, I understand emotionally why you don't drop this track live. But dude, seriously, that is without a doubt a track that should be played live with Marco on vocals. And I know it's too late for that. And again, that's kind of why I guess it hurts. But I've always said, that guy, I saw him sing Take On Me. I've seen him do Living After Midnight, kind of, toned down, not just in sound, but in vocal as well. He's able to go wherever either he wants to go or is asked to go. Doesn't need. I don't like that word need, because that's putting pressure. I think if you ask him to go places, he's willing and able to hit anywhere in between, from those low kind of authoritative, here's the vocals, to the upper echelon of the range that is pure metal. That there's certain boxes you want to check in your metal tracks, right? And that's one of them. So you're checking the box of the sound. Okay, it sounds like Disturbed, it sounds like Nine Inch Nails, but then it kicks into that traditional Metallica, Slayer, Pantera, really earthy, crunchy, metal. And then in the meantime, all around it is this beautiful, light, airy, symphonic drive. And the entire time, this monster on the drums is creating this fever pitch. And then it'll slow you down at the right time and then get you back to that fever pitch again. And that last minute and a half, 2 minutes of that track, again, belong in a museum. That's how you end a track. Like, that's how you do it. You get them to that point. If you're metal, that's metal. You get them to that almost breaking point, and you keep them there. And then when you're done, you're done. That's what I love about that. And it was a perfect creation, a great combination. Again, Tuomas is the master of the metal layer cake. He's able to look at a piece of music and put the exact amount of element into each part, and the songs just always flow so brilliantly. But this here, I think the world is missing. I think the world has missed that track. It's, again, I'm not here for the drama. I'm not here for the politics. And I'm not here to question who should be where and who did what to whom. I wasn't in his shoes, so however they perceive it to be is how it is. So I can't say any different, so I'm not going to speak to that. But I will say it's not sad. Maybe it is sad, but it's kind of that a great song like that was kind of kept in a cage. Almost. It really should have been unleashed on the world. That is a fantastic, brilliant track. Master Passion Greed from Dark Passion Play, released 15 years ago today. That is Nightwish. Another Nightwish track checked off the list. Thank you very much to the I Concur Army for guiding me along my Nightwish path. And again, thank you to Gabriel for truly being my Nightwish Sherpa. Thank you again for all your suggestions. If you have a suggestion, you can leave it down below. But like I said, join the I Concur Army. Give it a glance. If someone's made your suggestion, like it, and I concur. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're following me on all of the social media platforms. That way you can hit me up with a message if you have a question, a video, a band, a suggestion, something like that. If you have an inquiry into voice work, I'm more than happy to talk to you about any scripts you might happen to have for a voice guy like me. I even have my own equipment, if you can imagine that. Thank you to Aspen Dental, Connect 200, Music to See, and Gothic Jewelry. They are those that make the wild side possible. Make sure you're looking out for each other. Make sure you're looking out for your neighbor. Try to do at least one good thing a day. I am Eric Clark, and this has been The Wild Side.